Hey gang, it's your GM Drakeen here with another homebrew. Today we're obviously going to be talking about dense foliage or thickets, and this will include plant growth. So plant growth, if you're not already familiar with, it's a very, very powerful spell in Dungeons and Dragons. It has a 100-foot radius sphere and everything becomes thick and overgrown in that area. And it just says creatures moving through that area spend 4 feet for every 1 foot they move, and that you can exclude certain areas. It really doesn't say anything else about anything in the area. It doesn't say how it affects combat, visibility, nothing. So I had hoped to get some further clarification on this with the update, but they did not. So I was looking for some other sources that might explain how plant growth affects the battlefield. And I started looking because it's a lot. I mean, if this is what's happening, um, you kind of want to know more than just your movement is affected, right? So I started looking in here, and how can you argue with a book that has Gandalf on the cover, right? So this gives several terrain descriptions in here. I'm not going to get into every single one of them, but it describes things like, dense foliage, swamp, different things. So it's kind of a cool book. So the next thing you're about to see is kind of what inspired, specifics on how plant growth or dense foliage for that matter affects the battlefield. Um, so, what are we talking about? Dense foliage grows in prodigious quantities in shades of ruins, forming thick banks of foliage or close trees that are difficult but not impossible to cross. Sharp twigs stab at the face, ivy binds boughs together, overgrowth piles up in a thick tangle between the roots, and low hanging branches bar the way. So it's a lot. And, with the picture we showed, obviously, um, it would affect a battlefield. Now, I'm going to just go through all these really quick. Range attacks through the thicket are made with disadvantage, even at close range. Long range attacks cannot be made through the thicket. Okay. Dense foliage provides half cover, which of course is +2 to AC and dexterity saving throws. Um, Targets greater than 50 feet away gain 3/4 covers +5 to AC and dexterity saving throws. So that, you can see how, uh, you know, it's thick. So it's just hard to shoot stuff. Dense foliage can be crossed, but counts as difficult terrain, or 1/4 movement in the case of plant growth. It's even slower than difficult terrain. So obviously, dense foliage you can be used to hide, and this is the kicker at the very end here. Plant growth effect on monster plants would typically manifest as rapid increase in size, density, or the number of plant appendages, essentially making the plant larger, more difficult to move through, and potentially able to inflict more damage with its attack due to the increased mass and reach. So, if there's some plants growing, and in Tomb of Annihilation, that's likely the case, which is the game I'm running. Uh, the plants in that area of effect are likely to be affected. So you could be creating a more dangerous situation. Just FYI, not a big deal, but it's just worth noting. So you know that's some guidelines I'm looking at for using for plant growth. Um, what do you guys think? If you like it, definitely like and subscribe. And these are my games on Start Playing. Hope to see you at the gaming table. Take care.